Greetings, everyone. I'm Tari, the founder of Yoga4Cancer, and I welcome you here in my home studio. And I'm going to talk about a few props you might need today to do our Yoga4Cancer class. Since you are in your home, I'm going to make some suggestions about alternatives to regular yoga blocks, which are so wonderful, but maybe you don't have them. We have discovered that paper towels are really great use as yoga blocks. And also you can take and make a yoga block, almost the exact size as a yoga block, out of 6 CD covers. How many CD covers do you have sitting around on your shelves that you don't use? It's also possible to tape together some books. These are just taped together with a little packaging tape, similar size, and they make very, very nice, very sturdy yoga blocks. So Yoga4Cancer is very prop heavy, and those are 2 suggestions that I have for you. There are a few things I would like you to make sure you have before we get started. Any kind of blanket can be taken and used. This is a yoga blanket. And I'd like you to find one and roll it up and make a blanket roll like this to have for our closing poses. And in addition, if you are able to find a cushion or a yoga bolster and put it behind at the very end of your mat. Now, very important things for us all to do when we do a yoga class online together. You're sitting in front of your computer, as I am in front of mine. So go find all those things that give you alerts and turn them off, like mail, maybe Skype, maybe you have a Dropbox, or any other kind of signaling application you might have that could just single out a ding that will disturb you from our class today. And then the final thing I want to say is an example of what I'm going to suggest you do in what we call a chill out pose. As one of the things that differs about Yoga4Cancer from other kinds of yoga practices and lineages is what we suggest you do for chilling out. And I'm going to take you into Dale, my model and my assistant, into her studio, and you will see her demonstrate what we call chill out pose. There she is in her beautiful studio. She's rolling onto her back. See her yoga block paper towel roll. She has there handy. She is lying down on her back and her knees are bent and resting on each other. And in addition, she's going to take her feet and walk them out to the edges of the sides of her mat. So they're separated a bit. Then she brings her arms down to either side, palms up towards the ceiling. And this way, if you want to just chill out here and listen to what's going on, it'll be a wonderful place to stay. And you can rest and then maybe perhaps be inspired to start joining us again. Now, let's all go supine like Dale is here. Lying supine with your knees bent, as Dale has. And when you're there, I'm giving you just a few minutes to get settled in. As soon as you arrive with your knees resting on each other, let's just take a moment or two to rock your head, the back of your skull, keeping it on the floor, on your mat, and just roll your head from side to side, very slowly. I know for me, my neck recently has become one of my tight spots, my neck muscles, and rolling my head from side to side while it's protected and secured by the floor, so you're not going to misalign anything in your cervical spine. And then with your knees bent like that, bringing your hands out to the side, turning now the palms down like little suction cups on the floor. And let's just begin a little bit of making our spine go up and down, just lifting the spine up, lifting the chest up, keeping the hips down, and then lowering the chest to the floor. So lifting it up slightly, make that with an inhale, And then exhale, let the spine completely rest. Stay here for a moment and do what I call breath awareness practice. So the good news is that we all know yoga is good for us. Not only is it good for a stretch, it reduces, and even evidence that it reduces stress. And it is a great way to manage anxiety and even depression. But more importantly, it helps us regulate and helps us be aware of our respiratory system, which is part of our immune system. And we do that by bringing our awareness to our inhales and our exhales. Yoga for Cancer promises that you will have greater awareness of your exhale, which sometimes gets forgotten in a yoga class. With our big inhales that we usually start class with, we fill the chest. So just observe that. Observe what happens when you inhale. And then slowly, with an exaggeration of length, begin your exhale. Now place both hands on your abdomen, on your stomach. And again, just be aware of what happens when you inhale. Feel how the in-breath seems to fill your belly when actually it is filling the lungs, not the belly. And then observe even more carefully, but also emphasize and exaggerate the length of your exhale. One more like that. Inhaling is easy, just observe. But then a long, slow, mindful exhale, as long as you can. Pausing a second, and then inhaling again. And bring both knees in towards your chest. And bring your hands to the back of your thighs or the fronts of your shins, whichever feels most comfortable for you. With an inhale, lengthen both legs up towards the ceiling and straighten them as much as you wish. It doesn't need to be as straight as Dale. It can be a little bit less, but on the exhale, slow and carefully bringing the shins down parallel to the floor. Now keep the right leg where it is. Hold on to the back of the right thigh and lengthen the left leg out onto the floor. From here, inhale and feel the chest rise slightly. As you exhale, draw your right thigh in towards your chest. This time, as you inhale, lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring the left leg down and the right shin tighter in towards your chest. And do that 2 more on your own breath. The inhale lifts it up, and the long, slow exhale brings that left leg down and makes a deeper crease in the right hip. Last one on your own breath. Inhale, bring it up, and the exhale brings the left leg down. Then draw both knees into the chest again. Hold on to the left thigh this time, and with an inhale, lengthen that right leg out. Exhale, draw the left shin in towards your chest. Now working with the breath and movement, the inhale brings the right leg up. The exhale brings the right heel down as the left shin comes closer to your chest. And again, 2 more like that on your own speed and pace, lifting that right leg. Exhale, bringing it down. 1 more. Inhale, bringing it up. And as you bring that left shin in towards your chest, on the exhale, just a little deeper, increasing that left hip crease. And now bring both knees back into your chest, holding on to the backs of the legs. 1 breath to extend both legs straight up towards the ceiling. And the out breath brings both feet down onto the mat at the same time. Bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, and with an in-breath, reach your arms all the way up and over, resting on the bolster or blanket behind you that we placed before we started. The exhale brings your arms down onto either side. Your next in-breath stretches both legs out in front of you. And then the exhale, as if your hand was resting on your belly, softens that belly into resting in the floor. And from here, we're going to practice our full body stretch. On an inhale, point your toes forward and reach your arms all the way up and over, touching the blanket behind you. Exhale. Now here we use the belly to tighten as the toes point up towards the ceiling and the arms come down to either side. One more like that. Inhale, stretch the arms up, point those toes forward, and slowly engaging your abdominal muscles to point the toes to the ceiling, arms on either side. Now bend your knees in towards your chest, hold on to the backs of those thighs, and rock from side to side. And we're going to slowly come up to sit, taking your time. Sit however you like. You can sit on 2 blankets like I have here, folded up, or you can sit on your bolster. Maybe you can even sit in the chair for the next part of this warm-up. I'm using my 2 paper towels underneath my thighs because my hips are not, and that makes me feel nice and grounded and comfortable as my tailbone reaches down. I'm letting my hands rest heavy on my knees or maybe on your thighs, depending on the length of your arm. And then using that magic, the breath is magic. Breathing in, let the spine elongate and grow tall. And breathing out again, imagining that your hands are on your abdomen and tightening those muscles inward towards the front of your spine. As you inhale again, get long. And then as you exhale, let's rock our neck from side to side. Exhaling right, inhale center, and exhaling left. So moving with the breath. Each inhale brings you center. Each exhale rocks the head from side to side. And then finding your center, keeping your hands on your thighs, placing a little bit of weight in the thighs to let them open up a tiny bit more. We're going to bring our hands together and place them behind our neck. And holding on to that neck, giving it a little bit of support, let the head rest back into the cradle of your hands. Finding an in-breath, open the chest, let the elbows go wide. And as you exhale, bringing your elbows and chin slightly down. With an inhale, open the arms out to the side. And then bring your right hand onto your left thigh, your left hand onto your right thigh. On an in-breath, slide that right arm out and up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, side bending over to the left. Inhale back to center. And as you exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale that right arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring it down onto the left thigh. Use an in-breath to slide the left arm up towards the ceiling. An out-breath, get heavy in the left side as you bend to the right. The in-breath brings you back to center, and the exhale twists you to the left. Let that right hand work to make that twist. Inhale the left arm over, and as you exhale, bring it down onto the right thigh. On an inhale, swoop the arms up, and exhale, form that little cradle for your head again. The in-breath lets the head rest as you open into a slight back bend, and the exhale folds you forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and make an X, this time with the left hand on top, right hand underneath. We're moving the spine in 5 directions. Inhale the right arm out, and exhale, side bending over to the left. Inhale back to center, and exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale, right hand to left thigh. Moving the spine in 5 directions. The left arm reaches up. The exhale brings you into a side bend to the right. The inhale back to center, and the exhale twists you to the left. Inhale, left arm up as it comes down to rest on the right thigh. Inhale, arms come up. If we move our spine in all 5 directions, we create spinal health. Hands cupped behind the head. Inhale, raise the chest. Exhale, bowing forward. One more on each side. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, left hand to right thigh, right hand to left thigh. Inhale, slide the left arm out. Exhale, side bending right. Inhale, center, and exhale, twisting left. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, bring it down. And now the right arm. Slide it out on an inhale, reach it up towards the ceiling. The exhale brings you into a deep side bend to the right side. Inhale back to center. And now anchor that right thigh as you twist to the right, bringing that right arm back behind you. As you come forward, reach both arms straight up towards the ceiling. And then your arms down onto either side. Lengthen out your legs. This might feel really good now. I'm going to also bring my paper towels right underneath my shins or underneath your thighs. Either one will work. But we're going to do a pose here called staff pose. So as Dale is reaching forward towards you, I'm going to switch around to the side, placing your hands on your thighs. On an inhale, find those shoulder blades reaching up towards each other, crown of the head going up, hands pressing down into your paper towels. As you exhale, fold, 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 don't bend, slide your hands down as far as they will go. Inhale, slide your hands up towards your groin, and then exhale, slide your hands down, keeping the front and back of the spine the same length. 2 more like that. Sliding up on an inhale and folding forward on an exhale. We're moving lymph and we are also giving ourselves a little bit of a massage. Not only with our hands on our legs, but also with the movement of the diaphragm, bringing breath in and releasing the breath out. And then come over to the side, remove your blocks, paper towels, or whatever, and come onto your hands and knees. You may want an extra blanket for your knees. That's perfectly fine. But take your time finding your way onto your hands and knees. Making sure that your wrists are right underneath your shoulders and your knees are right underneath your hips. When we do cat and cow, we look straight down as we lift our tailbone up and inhale. So not to the ceiling. Exhale, arching the spine forward as if the belly was lifting up towards the ceiling. So 2 more on your own breath. Remember not to look to the ceiling, only your hips lift to the ceiling on your inhale. And the exhale arches your spine. Last one like that. Arching, but not looking to the ceiling, just maybe slightly forward. And exhale into that Halloween cat shape. Find a neutral spine. And on an in-breath, Take your right leg back behind you. Keep the toes tucked. On an exhale, that's when you bring that right knee in towards your chin. Inhale, bring that right leg back. And then as you exhale, walk it over to the left side and look at it. So you're taking a bit of a side bend here to the left. Inhale that right leg back to center. Bring the knee down. On an in-breath, bring the right arm straight up towards the ceiling. And here's where we do a nice deep twist called thread the needle. Right shoulder towards the floor. Inhale back to center. One cat and cow here. Inhale, tailbone lifts. Exhale, the spine arches towards the ceiling. In-breath takes the right, this time do the left leg back. Sorry about that. Exhale, left knee to the nose. Inhale, take the left leg back and walk it over to the right side and look at it. See if you can find it. So we're doing the side bend here. All 5 movements of the spine in cat and cow. Exhale, bring it down. Let the in-breath lift the left arm up and that deep exhale to thread the needle. Just touch and release as you inhale, come back to center. And we've done cat and cow one more time. And then come to a flat spine. I'm going to walk ourselves forward by finding our block towers. So in Yoga for Cancer, we use what are called block towers. And those can be paper towels or CDs and books. But we want to make sure that the wrists are right underneath the shoulders. Place your hands right on top of your block towers. And with an inhale, take your right leg back behind you. Find that out breath to bring that right foot forward between your block towers. Now here we're going to do a little seesaw. Inhale, coming forward with the right knee. Exhale, straightening that right leg as much as you can. Now, not all the way back. It doesn't need to be a runner's stretch. Inhale, on your breath, come forward. Exhale, on your breath, come back. One more. And then leaving your left hand where it is, we're going to inhale our right arm straight up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring it down onto the block tower and both knees together to do the other side. Starting with an inhale, the left leg goes back and the exhale brings it forward. The inhale brings that knee forward into a seesaw. The exhale draws it back. 2 more like that on your breath. Inhale, coming forward, and exhale, bringing it back. Inhale, forward, last one, and exhale, bringing it back. Come to neutral, left knee over left ankle. Right hand stays where it is. The in-breath brings the left arm up, taking a nice deep stretch. Exhale, and bringing it down. And let's bring both knees together. And we'll go to the more challenging pose, but also the more fun. On an inhale, bring your right leg back. On an exhale, bring that right foot forward between the blocks. Tuck your left toes under and use a big in-breath to lift that left knee up off the floor. As you exhale, straighten the right leg. So both legs are nice and straight. 2 more seesaws like that. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, forward. And on an exhale, bring your left knee down. Keep your hands on your block towers, but stretch your right leg out in front of you. This is a real runner stretch. So the right leg is reaching forward and just rock that foot from side to side. Just sort of opening up and getting a little bit of lubrication in that right hip. This helps quite a bit for those of you who might have arthritic hips. Okay? And then bring it back to center. Inhale here. And exhale brings both knees together. And we'll do the other side. Always be a little careful with blankets. That can happen. The in-breath brings the left leg back. The out-breath brings it forward. Inhale, coming forward on that left knee. Exhale, straighten that left knee as much as possible. Inhale forward and exhale, bring it back. Inhale forward, exhale, bring it back. Come to center, tuck the right toes under now and lengthen on an inhale that right leg. And 3 seesaws here. The in-breath brings you forward because it opens the chest, gives space for the breath to come in. The exhale draws it back. Inhale, coming forward. We also create a little hip crease tension there. Exhale, bring it back. And it's when we are coming forward with our inhale, the diaphragm is helping to work pump lymph through our lower torso. So last one, come to neutral. Now here's the big one. On an inhale, look forward, reach back with your right heel, find an exhale to bring both feet together between your blocks. Let your hips come down and slowly inhale, come all the way up to stand. And exhale brings you to stand in Tadasana. So coming now to this, between your feet are right between your block towers, standing tall. Let's, for just a moment, find some stretching in the spine. Again, letting gravity find weight into the heels of your feet as the crown of the head reaches up. When you inhale and inflate the balloon of your lungs. The exhale again. Place your hand on your abdomen, on your belly. So inhaling. And as you exhale, slightly bring that breath into the front of your spine. Releasing the arms now, inhaling, palms out and all the way up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, feel your hands on your belly, pulling it in towards the front of the spine and bring your hands onto your thighs. And come into a little bit of a chair pose. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of breaths here in chair pose, just as we did with the seesaw. Inhale, chest comes forward. Exhale, we just bend a little deeper. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, bend a little deeper. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, bend a little deeper. And now see if maybe your hands can find the tops of your block tower or the tops of your paper towel. Good, okay? So this is just a test to make sure that we can find it. And of course, we're looking forward, we're not looking down. So the head is lifted, the heart's coming forward, and we inhale, come all the way back up to stand. Exhale, one breath in what we call Tadasana or standing mountain pose. I'm just going to do a couple of things here to help elongate the spine a little bit more. Let your left hand stay where it is. On an in-breath, turn your right palm out and lift it up towards the ceiling. And now exhale and side bend over to the left. Inhale, stay here. Inhale and lift your right heel. And as you exhale, push that right heel into the floor and see if that doesn't bring you into a little deeper bend. Inhale, both arms up towards the ceiling. Let's try the other side. Exhale, right hand down. On an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side bending over to the right. Stay here. Inhale, lift the left heel. And as you exhale, the strong exhale pushes that left heel down. And oh my goodness, I feel at least 3 more inches side bending to the right. Inhale, both arms up. And let's try that again. Left hand down. Elongate the right side. Exhale, side bending over. On an inhale, bend the right knee and bring the right heel up. Exhale, look how much more you can bend when you bring that heel down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, right hand down. Elongate first. Exhale, just takes a normal side bend. Inhale, lifts your left heel. And as you exhale, push the heel down and side bend even deeper. Ooh, you feel that, Dale? Does that feel good? Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, bring your hands down onto your sides. If you've stepped away from your block tower or your paper towel, come between them. And here's where we're going to do just a little bit of movement with all parts of our body as we engage our arms out to the side and lift them up as we inhale. Deep exhale, keeping the heart in front of the nose, bend the knees deeply and bring your hands down onto your blocks. With an in-breath, take your right leg back behind you. With an out-breath, bring the right knee to the floor. With an in-breath, bring both arms straight up towards the ceiling. With an out-breath, bring a hands down. That's a sun salutation. In-breath lengthens the right leg. Out-breath brings it forward. In-breath brings us up towards the sky. Exhale and hands to blocks. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, left knee to the floor, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms reach up, saluting the sun. Exhale, hands to blocks. Inhale, lengthen that left leg. And exhale, brings you forward. Hips go down, heart lifts. Inhale, fly up. Moving all sorts of systems in our immune system. Exhale, hands to blocks. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, right heel to the floor again. Inhale, all the muscles are moving, the heart is pumping. The inhale lengthens the right leg, and the out breath brings you forward. The in breath brings you up, and the out breath bends your knees and brings you right back down again. You're just whipping through these. In breath brings the left leg back. Exhale, left knee to the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to blocks. Lengthen the left leg with an in-breath, and controlled out-breath brings that left foot forward. Hips are down, heart is lifted. Inhale, flying up, and exhale, one breath in Tadasana. Okay, nice work. That's a step back series, and now we're going to take it to some warrior poses. On an inhale, sweep those arms straight up towards the ceiling. On an exhale, bend your knees, place your hands on your blocks. In breath, bring your right leg back. Now turn that right heel to, if you're familiar with a warrior one position, so the right heel is down, and bring both hands onto your left thigh. And from here, on an inhale, raise your right arm straight up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, press deeply into that left thigh. We have a magic button there that makes us really strong. Next in breath, bring the left arm up, and a controlled exhale to bring both hands down onto the blocks. Lift the right heel as you inhale, and only when you find an exhale do you come forward. Drop your hips, lift your arms, fly up, and exhale, one breath in Tadasana. So here we go again. On an inhale, swoop the arms up. On an exhale, find your blocks. Inhale brings the left leg back, and the exhale turns the left heel to the floor. On an inhale, walk your hands onto your right magic button. Exhale and press down in that right thigh to make your stance really strong. Inhale sweeps the left arm up. Exhale, find an engagement in your core. In breath brings the right arm up. And only when you exhale do you come forward onto the blocks. Inhale lifts the left heel. Exhale brings you forward. Drop your hips, lift your heart. Inhale, fly up. And one breath in Tadasana. Okay, so looking good. We're going to go on and do warrior one again and add triangle pose to it. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring both hands onto the blocks. In breath brings that right leg back. Exhale turns the right heel to 45 degrees. The in breath gets really strong in that left thigh as the chest comes forward. Exhale, feel the core tighten. In breath, right arm up. And as you exhale, maybe You can get strong, so the left arm will come up on your next inhale. But as you exhale, place both hands on the blocks, looking forward here. Inhale, but this time we're going to exhale and straighten the left leg, coming into triangle position. On an inhale, bring your right arm up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, cup it and cradle the back of your skull. Inhale here, and as you exhale, let that right elbow point towards the floor. 2 more pulses like that. Inhale, it's up, and exhale, it's down. Inhale, up, and exhale, down. This time, release that right hand onto your left leg and slide that hand up towards the ceiling, stroking that left leg. Each time, doing a little self-massage like we did in staff pose. And then exhale, bring the right hand down onto the block. Looking forward, inhale, and as you exhale, bring both feet together in front of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, and exhale, stand in tall Tadasana. Other side, as you inhale, sweep the arms out and up, and as you exhale, deep bend in the knees. In-breath brings the left leg back. Exhale, turns that left heel to the floor. And we will start with the warrior one again, walking both hands on an inhale up to your right thigh, pressing down on the right magic button. Inhale, sweep the left arm out. Exhale, tighten up the core, draw the navel in. Next in-breath, brings the right arm out. And then as you exhale, both hands onto the blocks. Stay here, look forward, inhale 1 breath. On the exhale, straighten that right leg, drawing it straight back into the hip socket. Next in-breath, the left arm comes out to the side and it tucks behind your head, making that little cradle. And we'll do 3 pulses here. As you exhale, let it dip down and feel your abdominal muscles tighten. Inhale, bring it up. Each time that exhale comes, you are pumping lymph. Inhale, all of the demand that this is making on your muscles is also pumping blood through every one of those veins in your body, keeping the immune system stimulated and very energized, energizing poses. Next time you come down with the exhale, release that left arm and slide your hand up your right leg. The inhale brings things up, and the exhale pulls you maybe even a little deeper. Inhale, slide it up, and exhale, pull. Then bring the left hand to the right magic tower. Bend your right knee a bit, look forward, and on an inhale, the exhale then makes you ready to come forward onto your blocks. Hips down, heart lifts. Inhale, flying up, and exhale, 1 breath into Tadasana. Okay, so now let's do some standing balances. These are sometimes a little bit more challenging. So if you do want to find a wall or a chair, please feel free to do that. We're going to do 2 balances here. And it also might be helpful if you took one of your blocks. You can even use a paper towel for this. We're going to do what's called eagle pose, just half of an eagle pose. Yeah, it'd be like eagles flying out in the. We started before in our chair pose by pressing down in our thighs. Let's put the block or the paper towel on the left side, and we're going to start eagle pose, half eagle pose on the right side. So a little bit of bouncing up and down, keeping that heart in front of the nose, which is another characteristic of the yoga4cancer methodology. We don't drop our head in front of our heart. We keep our eyes looking forward. We keep our chin lifted, and our heart leads the way. Bend down as much as you possibly can to be comfortable. And then take your right foot and cross it over your left thigh, letting it rest on a block or tower of CD covers or the paper towel, and pressing down deeply into your groins. Now, as you inhale, come up slightly. As you exhale, down just a little bit deeper. Can you just feel all of that tightness coming right in the abdominal area? Inhale releases it, and the exhale brings you down. You're massaging your abdominal organs here. You're also pressing lymph all the way through your body. This is a good way to cleanse the lymph system, which is a complete total support of the immune system. So each time you inhale, you come up slightly. Each time you exhale, you feel that compression. You feel the tightening in your abdominal area and in your groins, in your legs, pressing the legs into each other. Okay, that's good. Now, another thing I want to just point out here is that all the time you were doing that, your weight was on one leg. And in addition to pumping lymph and keeping the immune system strong, you were building bone. So let's take that CD tower or whatever it was that you were using and put it on the outside of the right foot. And again, the effort to push down, shoulder blades together on your back, and take the left leg over now and tighten those thighs into each other. Press the thighs together. On an inhale, come up slightly. On an exhale, pressing down into those thighs. Inhale, slightly coming up. I didn't count how many times we did the other one. Exhale, come down. But whatever it was, we're going to do a few more here on this side. Maybe this side is easier for you. Maybe it's not. Just keep coming up on the inhale and exhale, sliding those hips down. Inhale up. Exhale, sliding them down. And then unwind, come back, and let's go back between our block towers. So recreate your block towers or paper towel towers, whatever you were using. And find that. Remember I said find a rolled blanket. So it can also, if you don't have a rolled blanket, once we get down there, you can use your paper towels. But take the rolled blankets here off to the side. I'm going to put mine like sideways like this, and we'll tell you what's going to happen with it later. Okay, so it's off to the side, and it's going to go horizontal across my mat. Stand between your blocks. On an inhale, rotate your shoulders out and lift the arms up. As you exhale, we've done a lot of this now, like the eagle pose. Bend your knees and place your hands on the blocks. Let's start right. Bring it back on an inhale. And on an exhale, bring the right knee down. Inhale here, look forward, but we're going to bring on an exhale both knees together. And then walk back just enough so that you can slide that rolled blanket right between your knees. And then walk yourself forward. I'm actually going to get rid of my block towers here for the moment. Ride yourself forward. Now, you can see what I want is to come forward with the tops of my thighs. Not my belly, not my hips, but the tops of my thighs. Everybody knows where the tops of their thighs are, right? Okay, so I want the tops of your thighs on that rolled blanket. And then when you come down, you will have your forearms on the floor. This might feel really good. It's a lovely little soft back bend, okay? But we're gonna move with it. We're not just gonna stay here. We're gonna find the breath. On an inhale, I look forward and maybe I press into my hands, lifting the chest slightly. As I exhale, I'm gonna tighten my abdomen. I'm gonna bring the belly into the front of the spine. I'm not gonna lower down. I'm just gonna tighten my abdomen. Ooh, it's a big movement if you do it right. Let's do that 2 more times because it actually is a very strong movement. Doesn't look like much. Inhale, press into the floors, maybe Lengthen your arms just a little bit more, finding a big back bend. It's the exhale that supports it. So if you're having lower back issues, it's that exhale that's going to support. One more. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, bring the navel into the front of the spine. You probably can't see it on my shirt here, but it's moving in there. Now come back onto your forearms, and we're going to move the legs. We're going to move the legs with our breath. On an inhale, look forward and lift your right leg up as you're going to kick yourself in the butt. Exhale as slow. Remember, slow, exaggerated exhale to bring that leg down, because that takes lots of muscle. Left side. Inhale, look forward, kick your butt on the left side. The exhale, slowly bring the top of the left foot down. Let's do 2 more on each side. Inhale, kick your right butt, look forward. Exhale, as slow as possible. Move all the muscles in that right leg as slow as possible. In breath, kicks the left butt. Exhale, slowly bring that left foot down. 1 more on each side. Inhale. Exhale. Down, ever so slowly. Inhale, kick the left butt. And exhale, slowly bring it down. Now, let's walk back here. Walk our hands all the way back. Maybe take your rolled blanket and move it a little bit forward. So what I'm going to do is come down, resting my hips down, my forearms on the blanket and my head. And just stay here for a few moments, kind of resting the whole upper arm. The whole chest was working very hard. So just rest yourself in that supported position for a few seconds before we then come up and find your way onto your backs. But don't let that rolled blanket get lost. Just put it off to the side and come onto your back. And on your back, start with your knees bent. And as we began class here this afternoon, both hands on your abdomen, on your belly. As you breathe in, that's the easy part. The chest fills. As you breathe out, exaggerate, lengthen the release of that breath. But do it now instead of engaging your core muscles with a softening. So do that 2 more times on your own. Inhale, lifts and fills. Observe. The out breath releases and softens. And then bring your hands onto the side. Suction cup your fingers just a little bit. And this time we're going to try to make the spine move up and down with our breath, controlling it, and also with a few more muscles. So as you breathe in, press your palms into the floor, and maybe the arms are not quite so far apart. Maybe they're in just there. You go, like about there. As you breathe in, lift the chest, feel the hips coming up just a little bit. As you slowly drop the hips down and pulse like that into a little bridge pose 2 more times on your own breath, coming up each time just as much as you might want to come up. And then if you can find your rolled blanket or paper towel with one hand, take the end of that blanket, and when you come up this time, slide it underneath your hips. Oh, there you go, right underneath the tops of the hips. So now we are doing a supported bridge pose, but using a blanket instead of what might be used in other circumstances. because we want to work with that soft exhale again. We seek the miracle of breathing by initiating that inhale. And then as we exhale, let the softening of your abdomen release the breath and also match and meet the softness of the blanket underneath you. So we use a relaxation response of a softening of that exhale, because it actually does, when you exhale, that diaphragm initiates the parasympathetic nervous system response. So the more soft you can become on your exhale, the more relaxation you will give yourself in these restorative poses. You are welcome to stay here or to remove the bolster. And since you are in your own home, it's your choice. If that was enjoyable for you, then just stay there. If not, remove the bolster and place it, well, bolster or rolled blanket, place it under your thighs. Extend your legs out in front of you. And now we will take what is called our sunset pose, where at the end of the day, the sun takes a big sigh as it falls behind the tree line or behind the mountains and rests. But even though it seems like it may have gone away at sunset, it is still doing what it does in other parts of the world. It still is shining. So also, as you take your sunset pose, the activity here is to keep your mind connected to your breath. Our mind has a magic of its own, like the breath, of wanting to fly into distractions and thoughts. But we have the tools in our yoga practice to keep it calm and control it. Just as we can control our breath, we can control our thoughts. So keep your mind connected to how you are breathing. As the first movement we started this class with was letting our head roll from side to side. Begin to find little movements in those little muscles of the back of your neck, rolling the head easily from side to side. We started too with bending our knees, placing our feet on the floor. And as you are lying here now, with your arms slightly stretched out, let the palms turn up towards the ceiling, and then lengthen the arms with an inhale all the way back over your head to find the bolster or blanket behind you. Let an exhale gather those knees in towards your chest. And then rolling from side to side. And coming up to a seated posture, using your blanket or your bolster, whatever is comfortable, even your chair, whatever feels right for you. Taking a few seconds to sit. So cancer and other things can often be the cause of losing our breath. It takes our breath away. The good news is that yoga still can bring it back. Yoga is good for you. Yoga can help you relieve stress. It can help you manage sleep. And it certainly can teach you how to breathe better. So if you are feeling anxious, just stop and do some yoga. And that is as simple as observing your next inhale and then lengthening as much as possible the following exhale. Don't forget to breathe out. Thank you all for joining me at this Yoga for Cancer class. I hope you will every Monday. And if you are streaming this live now, that's wonderful. It will be recorded and you can find it on our website as well. There are also other classes that we have recorded that you can stream and watch anytime. So I close with namaste. Thank you for joining me. And I also want to thank Dale for being a wonderful model. Namaste.